Hello, language warriors. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. How is everyone today? Hello, Humeria, and hello, Khan. Hello, Lena. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Zishan. And Yara, hello. Thank you, Trina. Hello, Elle. And Sandrine, hello. Good morning. Sunny. Good morning, Belen. Hello, Fatima. Let me just pull up my live stream here. All right. So, once again, welcome to my live stream. If this is your first time, I do a lot of live streams, usually about 10 live streams a week. Okay? And this live stream that I'm doing today is called Teacher Mark's Chat Room. And on this live stream, I give you a topic and some questions to answer. And you will have a chance to practice expressing yourself in English, giving your answers about this question, about we're talking about childhood today. Okay? All of my live streams are for English learning, but also for cultural exchange and cultural exploration, cultural learning. Okay? If you want to know when am I here, I'm here every day except Monday and Friday. So you can study English with me for free 10 times a week. Hello, Kiki. It is 9:03 a.m. here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Unji. Hello, Ahmed. Don't get in trouble. Good morning, Renee. And hello, Mia. So how's everyone doing today? What's the weather, Sandrine? It is rainy. It's rainy. The last few days it's been rainy. Actually, I can say that this year, August was the strangest August that I've ever had in my life. August is usually the hottest month in Cincinnati. But quite honestly, it wasn't very hot this year. It was very humid, but it wasn't very hot like it usually is. And now for the last week or so, it's been kind of rainy, on and off rainy, which is kind of nice. You know, it's not hot. That's good. But it's not really good weather for going outside to do things. Speaking of which, I did post, many of my live streams are already posted for this week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the live streams are posted. But I have there's this weekend. This weekend, I might go do something special for you guys. It depends on the weather. So there's a few things going on this weekend in Cincinnati. A few festivals. And I would really like to go to one of the festivals and show you, walk around and show you around. But again, it depends on the weather. So, Lynn, I want to go fishing. Lynn, I haven't been fishing in a couple of months now, or at least a month, because I've been too busy trying to work on my live stream. But no, Lynn, this weekend is the Ohio Renaissance Fair. Let me show you. And this is one of my favorite festivals to go to. Let's see, do they have pictures? Yeah, here we go. So, let me show it to you here. Oh, before I forget, if you guys are, if this is the first time you've been on my live stream, do not watch my live streams with your phone like this. Turn your phone sideways. Okay? Turn your phone sideways and it will look a lot better. Okay? But let's take a look at the Ohio Renaissance Fair. What is a Renaissance Fair? A Renaissance Fair is a really cool thing where you go to this festival where they pretend like you're living in medieval Europe. So there's knights and horses and people with swords and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look. Your story is waiting to be told. Begin your adventure at the 33rd Annual Ohio Renaissance Festival. So that's what this is, and it's going on. I think it starts this weekend. But let's take a look at some of the pictures. You can see it's really fun. Look at this. So you can go there and it looks like you're in medieval England. Kind of. It's a lot of fun. You can go and everybody dresses up and they pretend to be in old Europe. Look, we even have real jousting. Yeah, it's like a cosplay show. That's exactly right. It's like Renaissance cosplay. Look at that. That's cute. And you can dress like anything you want. You can really do just about anything. So that's what I'm hoping that I can take you guys to this weekend. But it just depends on the weather. If it's rainy, I don't think I want to go this weekend. But this festival goes until the end of October, I believe. Every weekend until the end of October. So if I don't go this weekend, then I'll go another weekend. But there's another festival going on this weekend also called Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is a German beer festival. It's like the end of summer festival. And my city has a lot of German heritage. So we have several Oktoberfests here, actually. How am I going to make up, Yara? I probably won't. I used to when I was a kid. Yes, Sandrine says there's the same festival in many cities in France also, but smaller. Right, yeah. The, uh, there are Renaissance festivals that happen all over the world and all over the country here in America. This is the Ohio Renaissance Fair. It's one of the bigger ones, I think, in America. I think it is. But it's a lot of fun. Well, here, let me just read this to you. So it says here, entertainment. Visitors will see a full day of entertainment, including full armored jousting, the way it was done over 400 years ago by real knights in shining armor. Queen Elizabeth I presides over the festivities as dozens of Renaissance musicians, dancers, comedians, jugglers, sword fighters, storytellers, and hundreds of costumed performers entertain patrons of all ages on 17 stages in over 100 shows daily. So yeah, this is a fun little festival, but there's also let me see if I can find it. So we also have this German beer festival coming. Let's see if there's any good pictures of this. Yeah, here we go. Oktoberfest is back in Cincinnati, Newport, and Covington for 2021. Now, this is 2021, but obviously we have it now this year too. But you can see they dress up with German clothes, and we play polka music, and there's beer and food, and it's a lot of fun. And like I said, my city has a lot of German heritage and German history. So we have a lot of German food and German restaurants and things like that. Unji, what is my job? I have many jobs, Unji, but I'm a teacher. As far as you're concerned, I'm a teacher. And yes, Lisa, I sound exactly like your IELTS exam. Why am I not going to dress up this year, Yara? Well, mostly because I don't have any of those clothes anymore. I don't have anything like that anymore. I only have, well, yeah, I don't really have much. Let's just say. Hello, Zainab. My day is going pretty well so far. Hello, Gift. Welcome. Good morning, Roger. Is my band performing for this festival? No, no, Yara. I've never performed at the Medieval Renaissance Fair, but no. Do I teach online or in real life? I have done both, Irvet. Right now, I'm only online, but through my life, I've had many different teaching jobs, teaching kindergarten, elementary school, junior high, high school, college, all levels, and adults. I'm drinking iced coffee. Elle, can you come up? You can, but I would like to try to go ahead and get started with today's topic. I always need a few minutes to get warmed up at the beginning of my streams, especially my first stream in the morning when I'm trying to wake up. Okay, so let's take a look at our questions for today, shall we? Today we're talking about childhood. Childhood. Okay, so let's look at our first two questions for today. And yes, if you want to, you can raise your hand and come up and talk with me and answer these questions. Okay? So the first two questions. One, what was the best thing about your childhood? And two, what were some of your favorite activities as a child? Okay? So, number one, what was the best thing about your childhood and what were some of your favorite activities? And remember, please, this is an English class, so write your answers with proper English, okay? If I ask you a question like, what kind of ice cream do you like? Don't just say chocolate. The purpose of this show is not for you to give me your answer with one word. The purpose of this show is for me to for you to give me your answer with the best English you can. Okay? So this is not a trivia game. This is an English game. Okay? L, childhood, means the time when you were a child. The time when you were a child is your childhood. Okay? When you ask Abrar, you want to say, would you like some water? Yeah, usually we would say, do you want some water? We won't usually say, would you like any water? That's a little weird. Okay? Samantha says, the best thing about my childhood was hide and seek. Okay. Zainab says, I miss the memories of my childhood. Kiki says, my favorite activity was fighting with the neighbor boys when I was a kid because they were rude. Okay, that's a good answer, Kiki. That's a good answer. And she put it in a nice sentence. Okay, so that's good. Zainab says the best thing about childhood was friends, your friends. Okay. So I'm looking for who wants to raise your hand and come up and talk to me and answer these questions. So, do you want to practice speaking English? If you want to practice speaking English, come to the microphone. Okay, let's get Elle and Melissa. And Marjan. Marjan, you want to come up? Hello, Elle.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
Marjan. Hello. I'm doing well.
I'm
and
fine.
Yourself?
Thank you very much. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And we need one more person up here. How about Omega? Omega, do you want to come up?
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Omega.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Omega, I'm good. What city are you in?
I live in Haikou, Hainan province. Yeah.
Okay. And Elle, are you in Tehran?
No, Hainan Islands.
No, not you, Omega.
It's me, yeah.
Elle.
Yes,
Elle.
hi, Mark.
Yes, Elle,
Yes. Now I'm staying in Tehran, but I'm living in another city. I came here for do surgery, and this morning I did this surgery, and I was alone. I really wanted to be in this life, because I was so much bored.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's never fun. Like that's one thing I wish hospitals would always let somebody go with you, even if they just stand in the room while they're doing whatever they're doing, just so that there's somebody with you all the time. And hello, Marjan. Marjan, what city are you in,
I live in
Marjan?
Isfahan.
Oh, beautiful girl. Hi. How beautiful. I love you. Yeah.
Marjan, are
Yeah.
you in
No,
Tehran?
I live in Isfahan, another city in Iran.
Oh, in Isfahan.
Yes.
Okay, I know Isfahan. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we'll start with L today. L, let's start with your the first question. What was the best thing about your childhood? What was the best thing?
It was when I was with my father in nature. I was going to our village, and playing with sheep. Especially, I was hugging them, and I really loved them so much.
Yeah.
I bet it's probably funny to
Yeah.
hug
Amazing.
a sheep. Sheep are big and puffy, so it's like hugging.
Yes, even they were big, lamb, sheep, all of them was I was interesting for hugging them. And
Yeah.
after that, I was smell
Mm.
so bad, but it was okay for me at that age.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing.
Later on in the town, later they were saying, "Yeah, Elle, she's a beautiful girl, but she smells like a sheep."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Marjan, what about you? What was your favorite thing in your childhood, Marjan?
I used to play with my friends and in the street, play with the ball, sometimes riding bicycle. I love riding bicycle and play with my other friends. And sometimes they came to my house, sometimes I came to their house and play by tours. But most my love is my relationship with my friends. When I was with them, even don't play anything, just talk together, running, and we have some activities. It was the best my memorized from my childhood. And unfortunately, these days I don't have a close friend, and I missed my friends when I was a kid a lot, and I missed my childhood.
Okay, good answer, Marjan.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Amiga, Amiga, what was the best thing about your
Yeah.
childhood?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I think Alice reminds my best experience. Also on my dad's shoulder is one of the best thing. But another thing is that maybe I take care of my younger brother. Yeah, that's
So
good
you
for
liked
me.
taking care of your
Yeah,
younger
because I
brother.
love him.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
a good big sister.
Yeah, because he's 7 years
Oh, okay.
old,
Oh,
younger than
so
me.
you can
Yeah,
say he's
my brother,
7 years
new brother.
younger
Yeah,
than me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're a good big sister. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
one thing that I think was really interesting, my childhood, the thing that I missed the most about my childhood was sleepovers. Do you guys know what a sleepover is?
Yeah, that's okay. It's really true.
Over.
Because, it's funny because I didn't know, like, when I lived in Taiwan and I would talk to my students, it was funny because one day we were talking and I was telling them about how when I was a kid, sometimes my friend would come over on a Friday night or Saturday night and they would have dinner at my house and they would spend the night here and we would stay up late and watch movies and have popcorn and pizza or whatever. And, but when I would explain that to my students, that my friend would come over and they would spend the night at my house, they thought that was very weird. They were like, "Why would they spend the night at your house? They have their own house," But it was so that's not something they do. They didn't really have sleepovers culturally there, So they thought it was a little weird to do that. But for me, that was my favorite thing. Like I wish we could still
It's
do
usual
that
for you.
as adults.
It's
Yeah,
usual for you and it's usual for your culture, but it's very, very weird for their culture. Maybe
right.
they don't like their friends come their house and stay all the time by together, and maybe their culture said that we have to spend the time just in a day. Not you can stay at your
That's right.
friend's house for all night, and you can spend your time by together. For example, watch TV, eat popcorn, drink some drinks, and so on. Okay, maybe it's because for different culture. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's right. But it was really interesting for me because I had never thought about it before. It's like this is just part of my childhood. That, yeah, we would say, "Hey, do you want to have a sleepover this weekend?" And your friend would come over, and it would be this fun time. And like I said, I wish I could do that as an adult now. Like, just call my friend and say, "Hey, you want to come over for a sleepover and just hang out and party all night?" Like, but you can't do that as an adult. It seems really weird. But when you're a kid, it's like that's the best thing ever. You're just your friend is coming over, and you're just gonna have fun. You're just gonna do whatever you want for fun. So it's great.
Yes.
And at that age, your
Yes, it
parents was
was.
at home or no? They were at home?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're at home. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is when we're young. This is not like partying. When I say partying, I mean like as a kid, when you're 7. When you're 7, a party is like pizza. Like you just
Yeah.
order some pizza and some
Yeah.
popcorn and some Coke, and that's a party. So yeah, of course our parents were home when we had sleepovers. It was parent supervised. It wasn't like
Yeah.
kids just come over and do anything. you know yeah.
And Martha, I have a question. Sorry, I
Mhm.
have a question. Do you like come back to childhood? And Elle and Amiga, do you like come back to your childhood? I like it
Of
sometimes, but
course.
sometimes no. What about
Mm.
you? Do you like come back?
Do you mean, do I like to
Yeah,
go back to my
sometimes.
childhood, or would I like to go back to my childhood?
Yeah.
Do you like come back there?
uh
Yeah, I
that's a
like.
good question. um I think I would like to go back to my childhood, but um
But I
only
like.
because the best part about childhood, actually, I think the best part about childhood is that you had no responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yes, of
Like,
course. It's the best
you know,
situation, the best good things in the childhood. But sometimes I think about without any experience or good experience, make a lot of mistakes on that time, and it's I wanna refuse to come back. But with no responsibility, I like come back. Yeah, both of them are together.
yeah, like I said, um, when you become an adult, it seems like you fill your whole life, your day, everything is full of responsibilities. What do I have to do now? Right? But when you're
And
a kid,
future,
you
and we
just
think
wake
about
up.
future a lot.
Yeah, right. But when you're a kid,
And
you
we
just wake up
think
and you
about the
just do
future a
anything.
lot, and problems, about responsibilities, about situations, sometimes about continue our studying, about universities, about marriage, job, life. It's very, very
Right.
busy things, and very, very busy responsibility maybe sometimes. But when you was a child, no, everything is very free, white, colorful, beautiful, and you like grow up very soon. But when you grow
Yeah.
up, you can find there's nothing in your grow upping. It's not adding in adult when you are adult, or when you are married, or other things. But it's a time, and everyone have to spend there, and it's not changeable.
Right. We have a saying in English: ignorance is bliss. Right? Ignorance is bliss means that if you don't know about things, sometimes that's good, right? Because when you
Yes,
know
of
about
course.
things, it's
Yeah, yeah. I'm
right.
sure, and I'm agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're a kid, it's like ignorance is bliss. You don't know anything about the world, so the world is wonderful, right? So
Yeah.
when I think about it, would I go back to my childhood? When I think about going back to my childhood, yeah, the idea that there's no pressure, that sounds great. But the thing I don't like is I was clueless when I was a kid, meaning like I didn't know anything about the world yet,
Mm-hmm.
so I had no wisdom whatsoever, and yeah, I think about myself and I was just so untamed. I was so untamed. I mean, I was not, I didn't know anything yet. And so I feel like if you go back, it sounds good. The idea of going back to your childhood sounds good, but it sounds good because we have knowledge and wisdom now. But if you really think about it, if you're really going back to your childhood, you're going back without any of that wisdom. So it's
No,
different.
but I think
like,
sometimes it's good, Mike,
it,
because this busy world for us, it's not good. Exactly about a big, far around the world between countries for nothing and something like that. So I don't like it. And
well,
sometimes, or
I
I
agree.
said most of the time, I want to come back to my childhood because I think the world is better than now, was better than now. But these days, I feel blue. Okay, most of the time I feel blue because there's a lot of problem for the people and so on.
Well, sometimes the way I like to think about it is when you're a kid, your knowledge of the world is very small, right? So you can stay happy all the time because the idea of a world is only this much. But as you get to be bigger and you get to be an adult, your knowledge of the world becomes more. And when you know more about the world, it's well, I mean, it's depressing. There's a lot of bad stuff in the world, right? So sometimes you're right. I think it's good if sometimes I think we need to try to not feel like an adult because when you feel like an adult, you know what? I'll tell you. Many, many years ago, I went to see a therapist, and my therapist told me something that I thought was right. She said, the truth is, Mark, that if everybody thought about how much bad stuff goes on in the world, everyone would be depressed. And she's right, because there's a lot of bad stuff in the world, and we can't think about it all the time. Because if we do, then we'll just feel depressed too much, right? So sometimes it's good to have a childhood mind, that you're not thinking about all the great problems in the world and you're just trying to focus on the happiness in your world, the small happiness in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so let's do our second question here. The next question is, what were some of your favorite activities as a child? Omega, let's start with you. What were some of your favorite
Uh,
activities?
uh,
What did you like to do?
favorite 跳绳 I don't know
呃
English
票
跳绳
票熊，等一下，我
跳绳
等一下，呃，
okay I don't know how to speak in English. Yeah.
哦，
跳绳
大家你知道吗？
跳绳
呃，
跳绳 jump the line maybe
this says fluttering, but I don't. Oh, jump rope. Jump rope.
okay
That's
jump
what
rope. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
no, no, no.
this
Rope.
time
Skipping
with
rope.
my friend. Yeah, many
maybe more than 3 people. Oh, so not just one person. Yeah. So I think we would just call that playing with a jump rope or jump roping.
Okay.
What's that mean? Can you explain about jumping?
Yeah. Do you know the exercise? If you have a rope and you do this thing with the rope and you
Yeah.
jump,
Yeah.
that's called a
Yes.
jump rope. That's what they're
Ah,
talking about. Yeah,
Rope.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
rope
yeah,
jumping. Okay, I got it.
yeah. A
Rope jump.
rope is
Rope.
something,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this that you, right?
Like
And so jump
jump.
is the
Yeah,
thing
I
that you
know.
you jump
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
right.
jump
Okay, I
roping.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Yeah. Good. See, I didn't know that in Chinese either. 中文怎么说?
跳绳，跳。
票熊, 票熊. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Thank you for teaching me that. All right. Elle, what about you, Elle? What were some of your favorite activities as a child?
When I was a child, I really was hyperactive. Always I was playing with boys. Most of my friends were boys. I couldn't play with girls. They were
Okay.
stay at home playing nice games for girls. I was not interested for these
Okay.
games. And when our friend was saying she was care about her younger brother, I wanted to say yes, I was same as you, but
他
I
字
was
母的好漂
picking
亮哦！
boys because of my brother, because they were coming and have
但是
fight
这
with
个
my
是哪
brother,
里
and I
哪里
wanted
的？
to be care about my brother, so I fight with them or say I was care like this about my brother. He was 3 years old younger than me, and most of the time I was top of a tree. I was going climb up. What's that? I don't know. I was. My parents were searching about me top of a tree.
Well, that sounds interesting. Yeah. All right. And Marjan, what about you? What was your favorite activity as a child?
My favorite activity was riding my bicycle and hide and seek and play by ball. Okay, middling ball, middle. How can I say you middling? Okay, two-person stay over there, and there's a person stay or stand between them and try catch the ball. Two people
Call that
threw the ball by together and the person was in the middle try catch it. Yeah, I love it, but sometimes I hurt it, but I like it. And exactly riding
that
bicycle, ride my bicycle, and I riding very very fast in my alley in our street, and unfortunately I had a very very bad accident that
oh
day,
no.
but I continue. Yes, by motorcycle, a very very old motorcycle. I had a very bad accident and I'm crying. My mom coming and said, "No problem. That's one okay. It's good and everything gonna be okay." And I don't hurt really. Okay, I don't be hurt, but it was my memorized from them. My and the best thing, yes, riding bicycle, hide and seek, and sometimes play with my other friends. For example, trying catch together, sometimes color or painting, and so on. But I
Marjan,
said,
the
what?
game you were
Yes.
talking about, that game you were talking about where you throw the ball and one person's in between, we call that game
Yes.
pickle.
Pickle,
Yeah,
Yeah. People.
pickle, pickle, pickle.
pickle.
Yeah,
People.
it's a funny game. It's the game comes from baseball because in the game
Uh-huh.
of baseball,
Yeah.
sometimes maybe one person might get stuck between the two bases and they have to try to get there. So that's where we
Yes.
got that game from. But we call it pickle. Yeah, my friends, we always used to play that game too. Yeah.
So it's the history from the pickle. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
history from the pickle, and then pickle from him. It's okay,
Marjan, I
but
think.
this.
Sorry, Marjan. I think this game Mark is saying, speaking about it. We say vasati in Persian, huh?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, and always play with my friends in the street. Sometimes
yeah.
it my father and my cousins, but most time I friend with my I play with my friends. Yeah, exactly, Ali. And you are from Iran, and you know completely
Yeah.
understand me about our childhood and everything in
Yeah,
Iran.
that's true.
Yes.
And Mark, when Marjan is speaking about, my favorite game was ride bicycle. It's because when you are a girl in Iran, you are not allowed to using bicycle much, especially at that
Yes,
age,
it's
at that time.
unforbidden in
I
Iran.
was just going to
Exactly,
ask
it's
you that, Elle.
unforbidden.
I was going to ask you that. Something that I think you mentioned something that I thought was
Sorry,
interesting.
sorry.
You said that you when you were younger you played with boys mostly and not
Yeah.
girls. I have a question. My question is, culturally, how is that treated in Iran? Like when you're young, do boys only play with boys and girls only play with girls, or
No, no.
Yes.
no?
No,
Okay,
when you are a child,
Most of
it's
times, most.
okay. You can
okay,
do
all
that,
right,
okay?
all
It's
right,
okay. If you are a child, it's something normal. You can play with boys or girls. You choose
okay,
it. But
all
it
right.
was something unusual because most of my friends were boys until I was teenager. When I was teenager,
Okay.
I was not allowed to play with boys or go to one house they have a young boy.
But I mean, like, do they encourage girls to do girl things? Like, wear pink clothes and you have to play with dolls, and I mean, you're not allowed to play basketball. Like, that's how it is here in America. When you grow up here in America, uh, when you're a girl, not every parent, not all the families are like this, but sometimes if you're a girl, they just make you do girl things all the time. And they say you must be a girl. So everything has to be pink and you have to do this and you only can do girly things, like you can't go play soccer. You can't go play baseball. You should only do these girly things. Now, most people don't do that anymore because now we know if you're a girl and you like boys toys, that's fine. Who cares? If you're a boy and you like dolls, I don't care. That's fine. It doesn't mean anything. It's just toys, right? Yeah.
In this
But
decade, yeah.
Okay.
In this
Uh,
decade, it's something
Thank
normal.
Mike. Thank you very much for inviting me in your stage. And unfortunately, I have to go. I had a class. I have a class. Sorry, and I'm very very glad to see you, your partner, and your visitor.
Okay.
I try
Bye.
online, but you another time. Okay.
okay, take care,
Have a
my
nice
brother.
day. Thank you
Yes.
very much, Ellie. Thank you very much for your help me. And
Take care,
Omega, thank
Majid.
you
Bye
so much.
bye.
Have a nice day. See you.
Bye
Bye
bye, Manjari.
bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, well that was
Okay.
um. So yeah, and then she was also talking about riding her bicycle. When I was a boy, one thing that we used to do that I feel like I don't know, kids don't do this anymore. We used to make a ramp to try to jump our bicycles, right? So
Whoa.
we would get a piece of wood and put it on the
Yeah.
ground and try to make it like tall so that you could jump it
To
as
go
high as
up.
and yeah, right, yeah. And we would go to the top of the highest hill in our street and try to go as fast as
Whoa.
we can going down the hill, and then and of course we would wreck and hurt ourselves, and it was bad, it was dangerous, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for boys, it's something special. They can show how they are so brave.
right, that's right, yeah, yeah. And then there was one other funny thing about my childhood is I used to go spend a lot of time in the woods. My friends, we would just go in the woods. We would go hiking
Right.
and we would just run around and play in the woods, right? And sometimes we would be out for many hours, and so dinner time would come and my mom
Yeah.
to come
Mom.
yell for us to say,
Yeah.
it's dinner, right? And
Yeah.
so sometimes I would be with my best friend Kurt. So it was my best
Mm.
friend Kurt and me, and we would be in the woods running around. Now, if it was really late, there was one way we could know if we were in trouble. Like, sometimes we were late coming back. We were supposed to be back before dinner, but we didn't come back before dinner. So sometimes we got in trouble. But we always knew how much trouble we were in based on how our moms would say our name. So when our mom,
Okay.
my mom would come to the edge of the woods and she would yell for us, right? Now, if you were not in any trouble, she would just say, "Mark, Kurt," and they would, that would be it. Okay, and you'd just come and say, "Okay, I'm coming," and you'd come running. But if you were in a little bit of trouble, she would use your middle name also. So my middle name was Thomas, and my best friend's middle name was also Thomas. So it would be Mark Thomas, Kurt Thomas, it's dinner time, whatever. But if you were in really big trouble, you got all three names.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Mm.
if you were in big trouble, it's Mark Thomas Sampson. Come here. It's like, that's how you knew you were in big trouble. It's like, oh no, my mom said all three names. I better run.
Yeah, that's right. She was a nice mom. If it was
Nice.
me, I was really more angry.
Yeah. So that's one way we if your mom uses all three names in America, then you're in trouble. Yeah.
Oh. You have to
Yeah,
be careful.
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, that's how you.
Mark, you know, when I was a teenager, I was 14 years old. I was really interesting for ride motorcycle. So my father and my brother, they have one motorcycle. I cut my hair all like a boy without any, with machine. I did do machine in my
Wow,
hair
that's cool.
all,
Good for
and
you.
I had very, very long hair and much hair. I just cut it, and I go very quickly wearing my brother's clothes and take out this motorcycle. It was off, it wasn't on because of voice. So I take it off, take it to LA. After that, I go, and I didn't know how to ride it, but I try and I learn it. After that, they see they can control me. So my younger brother was behind me when I was ride by
Okay.
motorcycle.
Wow,
Oh,
such a cool
how
story.
brave
Now,
you are. Yeah.
and that's
You
very
know,
brave.
because when you
Yeah.
are living
Tea.
in a country like Iran,
Yeah.
something like this is something big. It's not small,
Um,
especially at that decade.
L, there's a movie. What was that movie called? I think it was G.I. Jane. No, what was that? Let me see. Hold on. Let me do a quick search. There's a famous movie in America about a woman who goes. She's a soldier, and there's a scene where she cuts her hair off. Like, she has long, beautiful hair, and she takes it and just goes. Zzz, and
Okay.
it's very powerful. It's a very
Yeah.
powerful
Yeah.
scene, because a woman's hair is very important to her usually, right?
Yeah.
So if you have the bravery to be able to just that's powerful. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
brave. Like,
Cool.
like,
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing.
14 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. So Omega, what about you, Omega?
Yeah.
Did you have any favorite other favorite activities as a kid?
Uh,
Did,
let me see.
what did you like to do?
Fishing? Yeah. Fishing in
Fishing.
the field. Fishing. Yeah. Catch the
Did
fish.
you go fishing yourself with, or who did you go fishing with?
Uh, field. In the field.
In the few.
F
Like
I.
your brother, your father, who was with you when you was fishing?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
with my brother and my daddy. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And did you catch anything?
Of course. A lot of.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to love going fishing with
Yeah.
my father too. My father's who taught me how to fish, and
Oh.
I remember one time we would go fishing, and I always liked fishing, but my older brother he was never interested in fishing, and so we would
Okay.
go fishing at this lake, and we'd be there all day, and my brother was always bored and just, so one time we were there, and he threw his line out, and he just let it sit out there, and he was just bored, so he just put it on the ground. And then, we were all just playing around and stuff, but the end of the day came and we had to go, so we were packing everything up to go. So my brother picked up his line and he started reeling it in, and all of a sudden there was this huge fish. He didn't know that his line was sitting there the whole time, but there was a big carp, a big fish on the end of the line, and finally he reeling it
Oh.
in, and yeah, but he didn't do anything. He
Yeah.
was just playing all day, but he caught the biggest fish.
He was lucky.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
very lucky. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny.
I never did it. I never did do fishing.
No,
No,
I
I
love
never did it. One
yeah,
time I went with my brother. My brothers are interesting for fishing, but I really be bored like your brother.
yeah.
I like
Fishing requires
activities as
patience.
things.
Fishing is a
Okay.
patient activity. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, Elle, when I go fishing, I'm not going.
我觉得这女的真的好漂亮哦
I'm，just,
她这种
I'm just, I'm just trying to be there to be with nature. I just want to spend some time in nature. That's all. When I go fishing, I just want to be close to nature. So when I'm there, if I catch something, great. But if not,
Yeah.
I don't really care. So that's why for me, I enjoy it because I'm not there for the
Yeah.
fishing. I'm there just for the beautiful nature, you know?
For watching and feeling nature, huh?
Right. Yeah. I like to go fishing by myself often, and it's peaceful, and you're there, and it's just quiet, and all you see, maybe there's a deer, or maybe there's a big, water bird of some kind, but you're just there by yourself, and it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And think nothing. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's just kind of like meditation. It's like that's my time to like clear my mind.
克服你的真好漂
So
亮
I
哦！
should try it. I need it so
送
much.
你的我就
I
很喜
think so because, again, I think that the reason people don't like fishing is because they think it's like
欢。就他直播，你就
it's like an activity you're supposed to focus on, but you're not supposed to focus on it. You're just supposed to kind of like let it happen and then just relax.
yeah
So,
yeah
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, Elle or Amiga, do you guys have any other questions you want to ask me about anything? About culture?
Thank
or
you
English?
for your class. How you're speaking, I really can understand, and it's so good for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just some days I installed this application, and I knew you, and I'm really happy for that. So nice to meet you, Mark, and thank you for inviting me in this page. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it very much. And
Yeah.
And actually today, this morning, I did surgery in my eyes, and my doctor said don't use much phone. But I really was bored in this room. It's a hotel, and I
Okay.
was alone. So I said it's the best time for speaking with Mark.
yeah
So because of that, I wear these sunglasses.
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right,
crazy.
yes, but
okay
but
but
I think you should probably give your eyes some
yeah
rest.
but
after
it's
this
also
then.
beautiful
Yeah, that's true.
yeah
And what
Okay,
about you,
thank
Omega?
you.
Do you have any other questions for me today?
no question. I also thank you to invite me here. Yes, I understand you well. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're
Yeah.
very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Elle, and thank you, Omega. I'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Okay. Let me check my messages here. Let's see. Sophia says my voice is too low. Can you guys hear me okay? Everyone, how's the volume of my voice? Is it clear and loud enough? Very clear? And the volume is okay? Yes? Okay. All right. Well, okay. If it's a bit low, I can turn it up. Is that better? I can make it louder. Okay, so if it's not clear for you, then it might be your problem, not mine. Okay, Lynn, you said my voice is very low. My voice is pretty loud in my headphones, so I'm pretty sure it might be a problem with your connection. So you might try to just quit the app and restart and join the live stream again. It might be better. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's take a look at our next question here for today. What foods did you dislike as a child? What foods did you dislike? When you were a child, was there a food that you just hated? Cece says green peppers, I think. Is that a green pepper? And Emma, 这是什么？我不知道。And Amanda says higado. What is higado? Yara says bitter gourd with scrambled eggs. I do know that one. I've tried it a few times, and every time my Chinese friends tell me, "Oh, you got to try this," and I do, I'm always like, nah. Not a big fan. Not very yummy. Oh, it's liver. Higado is liver. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of liver either. Balsam pear. Okay. You doesn't like raw oysters. Okay. Bellin liver and onions. Bellin liver and onions. That's a European thing then, because we also hate liver and onions. Because liver and onions was something that like our grandparents ate, and it was kind of a poor people's food. So we don't like to eat it. Linda says pancakes. Sandrine says, when I was a child, I hated vegetables. Zara says, I hate casserole. You still dislike it. You hate all casseroles? Zara, how can you hate all casseroles? That's a lot of different casseroles. So many different flavors. NM doesn't like fish, okay? Eggplant, all right. Hello, Lily. Emma says muskmelon. All right. Or was there a food that you hated when you were a child, but you love it now? Like when I was a kid, one vegetable I hated was Brussels sprouts. But now I love them when they're cooked well. If they're cooked properly, oh, they're so yummy. But when I was a kid, I hated them. Parya hated vegetables. Raul hated lentils. Okay. Emma hated cake. Okay. Sophia hated coriander. Okay. Unji hated stir-fried anchovies. Okay. Zara hated pumpkin. Trina hated cabbage. 高丽菜吗？你不喜欢吃高丽菜吗？哦，我爱吃。Chinese cakes. Okay, 蛋糕. All right. 什么蛋糕? Yara didn't like vinegar. Okay. Tsu. Okay. And Parya, that's interesting. So Parya hated vegetables when she was a child, but now she's a vegetarian. How interesting. Let me look up balsam pear. Why do I feel like that's a different name? Oh, yeah. Balsam pear. That's just called, we call that bitter melon. Bitter melon. Balsam pear. Yeah, Bellin, I hated cauliflower too. I still am not a big fan of cauliflower. I'll eat it, but I don't like it. Like, I never think, ooh, I really want some cauliflower. I like broccoli, but cauliflower. But I should try more recipes with cauliflower, like see if I can make it more delicious. Okay, who would like to come up and tell me about the foods they didn't like as a child? And also we can do the next question, which was, who was your favorite childhood teacher or role model? So what foods did you dislike as a child? And also, who was your favorite childhood teacher or childhood role model? Sarah says, when I was a child, I hated eggplant. Every food made with eggplant, but I don't have any problems with it now. Okay. Which food do I like best now, Sophia? Any food. I just like food. Parya, cauliflower. Cauliflower is this. That's cauliflower. Parya. Oh, and Sophia, you want to say what foods do you hate the most? You don't want, you wouldn't say which foods do you hate the best? Which foods do you hate the most? Sun Wukong is your role model. Who is Sun Wukong? I don't even know who that is. Zara says, I had a math teacher. His name was Hassan. He was my favorite teacher. And you saw him 2 days ago. Good for you. Okay. Lily didn't like burdock. Yeah, Lily, I didn't even know what burdock was until I went to Asia. Burdock is not a vegetable that we eat here in America. So it's really interesting because I didn't know what it was. And actually, I kind of like it. Hello, Jorge. I'm pretty good. How are you? Can I show what, Elle? What did you want me to show? Burdock, you mean? Oh, burdock, yeah. Let me show it to you. So it looks like this when it's uncooked. This is what it looks like when it's uncooked. But when it's cooked, it looks more like this. Let's see. That's burdock. This one is another one here with burdock and carrot together. Yeah, it does look like wood. Well, it is a root. It's a root. It's a kind of root. And yeah, it's pretty yummy, actually. I thought it was pretty good. You says when I was little, I hated tomatoes. Lily says burdock is served at school lunch in Japan. Leif, if my voice is not very clear, it probably is your problem, not mine. Try restarting your phone or restart the app. The Journey to the West was one of the 4 classic novels of Sun Wukong, the monk. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I just didn't know the name. I'm familiar with the literature a little bit, but I wasn't familiar with the name. Thank you for that, Victor. Raul says, my favorite childhood teacher was my mathematics teacher, Mr. Diego. The reason that I'm so good at math. All right, good for you. As a cook, do I have a meal that I don't like its taste? Probably, Zara. I can't think of what it would be, but Zara, I like a challenge, right? So if there's a meal that I really don't like, I probably will still try to cook it, but I'll try to figure out how can I make it delicious. Like maybe I'll think, well, usually when people make this, it's not good, but maybe I can make it good. Hello, Jane. Do I know natto? Yeah, Lily, I've heard of it. I can't remember what it is, though. Let me look at that here again. Oh, yeah, the bean thing. It's really healthy for you, but it looks it looks natto does not look yummy. Natto looks like alien dog food. Okay, do you guys want to see what natto looks like? Anyone? Here. This is natto. It just looks like beans with cheese. But yeah. Not my favorite, I don't think. Belen says, my favorite teacher, was a man that was always smiling and making jokes with us. Okay, Kermit. All right. I love Kermit. Do you guys know the song Rainbow Connection? Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Anyone? Good song. Sophia, I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. Is spinach the symbol of food that American children dislike? Lily, that's a good question. I don't think so. I don't think most kids hate spinach. I didn't like it. It's really funny. I didn't like spinach when I was a kid, but my mother would trick me. We would go to the grocery store and she would say that she was buying green leaf lettuce. She called it green leaf lettuce, but it was spinach. So she just told me it was something else, because that's what you do. Rowena says my voice is clear but low, so I'll turn it up again. That's as high as I can go right now, everyone. That's as loud as I can get. Sandrine says my favorite teacher was the elementary school teacher who chose to keep our class for the next year. Okay. Bunji says I really like it. Kiki, I don't know how they cook it. Yeah, natto is a Japanese thing, and I'm not really familiar, so I don't really know very much about it. Yara says, but food in restaurants is more delicious as there are more cooking tools to make the food perfect. Yara, not really. Yara, if you can cook well, then you can cook food better than most restaurants. The food I cook is better than, I would say, 80% of the restaurants in my city. So most of the time, I can cook better than a restaurant can. Most of the time. Not all the time. Chinese food in a restaurant is more delicious. Yara, again, it just depends on who's cooking. It depends on who's cooking, Yara. Yara, many of the Chinese students that come to America, if they study here in America, they usually cook their own food at home. They don't go to the Chinese restaurants. And when I see pictures of the food they cook, I see why they don't go to the restaurant. Because they make dumplings, and the dumplings are amazing, and they make, everything they make looks great. So, yeah. Yara, I just think you need to learn how to cook. That's all. Yeah, Jorge, that's right. That's right. Popeye the Sailor Man. You guys know that cartoon? I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. And in order to make himself stronger, he would eat a can of spinach, right? He would open the can of spinach and eat the whole thing. Kiki, who taught me cooking? I kind of taught myself, but I'd say my father mostly. My father is quite a good cook. My mother a little bit. Sorry, Mom. Jorge, I'm older than you, I bet. But believe me, I know Popeye. Thank you, Parya. Okay, so we still have another, what do we have? 20 minutes? 15 or 20 minutes? Who would like to come raise their hand and talk with me? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Come up. Talk to me. Answer these questions. So let's talk to Unji and Abdi and Abdul Rahman. Hello, Unji. Annyeonghaseyo. Hello. I can't hear you. Hello, Unji. Can you hear me? Unji, I can see you, but I can't hear you. What is going on? Can you guys hear Unji? Oh, okay, Jorge, you got me beat by a couple of years. I'm 75, so you're my big brother. Unji, I'm not sure why, but maybe your microphone on your phone is not on, so you might need to fix it. How about Abdi? Abdi, do you want to come up? Abdi, hello, Abdi. Unji, I'm going to remove you from the stage and then raise your hand again. And I'll try to see if I can bring you up again. Maybe it will turn on the microphone, okay? So let's see. Abdi, hello. Abdi, do you want to come up? And so, do you want to come up? And Unji, go ahead and raise your hand again, Unji. Hello, So.
Hi. Give me a second.
are you? Take your time. Okay, and you're in China. In what city? So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
What city are you in?
I I am in Xining City, Qinghai Province, China.
Okay. Unji, are you there? Unji, hello, Unji. Unji, can you hear me? Unji. I still cannot hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. There it is. Yep, there you are. Hello, Unji.
Oh, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Now, yeah.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Okay,
Yes.
finally.
How are you today?
I'm good. It's quite a very interesting conversation with you and yeah, almost every guy. Okay, it's really interesting.
Well, thank
you.
you. So let's start with you then today, Unji. Can you tell me who was your favorite childhood teacher or role model?
When I was a kid, I always drawed something on my papers and on the textbooks every class. So yeah, my teachers hate that. So you should study more than drawing. Yeah, but I really liked my art teacher. You
But it's very strange because I love cornbread and I do like hot dogs, but I just don't like them when they're together. So, Unji, I know we lost you there. That's okay. I know your connection wasn't so good. That happens sometimes. But I thank you for coming up, Unji, and I'm sure that you can come up again next time. Okay. And so, do you have any other questions you want to ask me about, or anything culture or English questions you have for me?
Yeah, actually I have because I was on your live stream for a couple of times, but this is my first time to be on the stage, so I guess I should cherish this opportunity, right?
Sure.
You have mentioned in your live stream that you live in Cincinnati now, right? So I was wondering if you like recommend me some universities in Cincinnati, and especially these universities or program are famous for education or specifically TESOL or whatever education
Yeah.
related program.
So I would say the University of Cincinnati. That's where I went to school, and it's a nice college. It's a good school, and they have a pretty good education program. So I would definitely look at the University of Cincinnati, and there's another university here called Xavier University. Xavier, which is spelled with an X. It's Xavier. Let me spell that for you here.
Thank you.
So those are like the two biggest ones in my city, but then there's another one called Miami University that's not far away. It's about an hour away. That's where my brother went to university, and they also have a good education program too. So and yeah, I do remember that UC also has a pretty good TESOL program.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
No problem.
So how about the living expensive? As is, it is as expensive as California or New York, or much better.
No. Much cheaper here.
Oh,
Not even close to New York or California cost.
oh, because yeah. Okay, that's good because like
New York or California, it's probably 2 or 3 times more than here.
wow. Well, then I think I should check these two universities, right? And I should put these universities in my list because I'm gonna apply this year again.
Yeah, I do think that's true. So many people that apply to universities in America, they always apply to the most famous, most expensive universities, right? Like Harvard or Yale or MIT or, USC or something like that. And those are great schools, but they're expensive. One. And really, the truth is, you can get just as good of an education at a smaller university, and sometimes you can get a better education at a smaller university, right? So yeah, if you have a choice of going to New York City or going to Cincinnati, Ohio, sure, New York City is a lot more fun. There's a lot, because it's New York. There's everything there, right? They have everything there. Literally everything in the world that you could want is there. But it's expensive and it's very busy and crowded, and it's not very relaxing. But if you came to school here, it's more calm. It's more. It's cheaper. There's a lot more nature. There's a lot more. I think you can be more independent here. Like you can explore more places here. In New York City, if you're a foreigner and you're in New York City, you have to be a little bit careful, right? You're not familiar with every place, so it could be dangerous depending on where you go, right? But if you come to a smaller city like here, it's a little safer. There's a lot more. There's more places you could go by yourself and be safe here. Right. So sometimes I think a smaller place is a better choice because you can have more unique experiences.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes it's not about the university actually. It's about the program, right? That the university has, right?
And even that too, even that. So I really still think it's up to you, right? Because even if you go to a place that has a great program, you have to be great, right? So, that's why I think, even if you aren't at the greatest program in the world, if you care enough, then that's all that matters, right? So, and the nice thing about Cincinnati is if you really do want to go see a big city and feel like, I want to explore, that big city feeling of America, you can go to Chicago, which is not that far away from here. It's about a 5-hour drive, which we don't think that's very far in America. 5 hours is not that much for us. So if you want to, you can go up to Chicago for the weekend and have a big city experience and then come back to Cincinnati and relax more.
Thank you so much.
No problem. All right, so I'm going to let you go, and make sure you hit the follow button and come back and see me again sometime, okay? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Yara, no, Xavier University is in Cincinnati, Ohio. There's more than one Xavier University. I think there are several of them around the world, but this is Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio. Jorge says, I think one of my favorite movies was that's from Steven Spielberg. Which movie, Jorge? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Steven Spielberg is originally from Cincinnati. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. But yeah, you're right. I think I'm going to wrap this stream up here, and I have another live stream starting soon. Okay, it's 10:30 now. At 11 o'clock, I have another live stream starting, and on that live stream, you can come back and we can talk about anything.